Hello, everyone. I'm thrilled to be here, honored to be here to help celebrate Nigel's retirement. Let me share my screen. The title of my talk is Lessons from Nigel. A mentee learns the true value of mentorship. So many of you have reflected on Nigel's brilliance, his intellectual rigor, his capacity to teach, his scientific acumen. But I want to talk about a different but equally important skill set of his, that of mentor. This is Nigel as I remember him back when we first met. He hired me in 1984, fresh out of graduate school, to serve as project director on his NIH-funded neonatal brain hemorrhage study. I hadn't even filed my dissertation yet. The lessons I learned from him inform my approach to supporting my own trainees and postdocs to this day. I will reflect on that experience and hope to reveal some small kernels of his wisdom. So when I think about mentorship, I think that a mentor needs to serve as teacher, sponsor, advisor, role model, coach, and confidant. That's no small task. A mentor needs to lead by example. A mentor needs to provide challenge and opportunity for his or her mentee. A mentor needs to allow for failure. A mentor needs to demonstrate confidence in the abilities of his or her mentee. And Nigel did all of these for me. Nigel, you must have internalized many of these concepts through your years of medical training. In particular, the lead by example tenet. E.M. Forster says, spoon feeding in the long run teaches us nothing but the shape of the spoon. And from the very start of the NBH study, I learned by watching you, Nigel. I learned about engaging the radiologists and the research nurses by watching your enthusiastic presentation of the study and your call for their partnership. As you recall, the radiologists were not excited about filling out our carefully designed forms on the findings of the neonatal cranial ultrasounds. But I watched you charm them and cajole them into it. And I learned about the value of respecting the team above all else. Engaging every member of the study team in the excitement you felt for the project and the importance of the data we were collecting gave them a sense of purpose and commitment. And it yielded a treasure trove of valuable data that we continue to mine to this day. Provide challenge and opportunity. Bob Proctor says, a mentor is someone who sees more talent and ability within you than you see in yourself. And that was true of Nigel's and my relationship. Once we had completed the NBH enrollment and done the age 2 and age 6 follow-ups, you offered me the opportunity to serve as PI on the age 9 follow-up. I was incredibly honored and also terrified. How would I ever produce a fundable grant? How would I ever step into your enormous shoes and manage as PI? As I was struggling with all of these thoughts, I learned that I was pregnant with our third child. I remember so vividly calling you to tell you this. I was really struggling, feeling conflicted about career versus motherhood. And I told you I thought I would step back and focus on motherhood for a while. Rather than challenging my decision, you expressed a strong belief in my abilities. You reassured me that I was fully capable of doing both. You promised flexibility and support, and you encouraged me to think things through a little bit more. And so I did, and I accepted the opportunity and the gift that you had given me. and was successfully funded in the age 9 follow-up. And I truly think of this as a turning point in my career. Had I stepped back, I would not be the researcher I am today. I would not have the position I have at the University of Pennsylvania today. It was your confidence in me that gave me the ability to say yes. So what a gift that is. And in fact, you gave me so much confidence that Musco and I went on to have a 4th child. Allow for failure. Steve Jobs says, my job is not to be easy on people. My job is to take these great people we have and to push them and make them even better. This quote makes me think of Nigel, the editor. I'm sure many of you have had the pleasure of working on a manuscript with Nigel and have handed him a rough draft only to get it back with literally more red than black on the page. I recall closing my eyes and taking a deep breath before I received a manuscript back from you. But again, what a gift. You were exacting and precise and indefatigable when it came to editing. And I learned so much. I find myself doing exactly the same thing with my trainees. So I suppose mimicry is the highest form of flattery. Demonstrate confidence in their abilities. Maya Angelou says, I've learned that people will forget what you said, people will forget what you did, but people will never forget how you made them feel. It's perhaps an overused quote, but it's so apt in this situation. Nigel, you made me feel respected and appreciated. We became fast friends through the hours of working together and commuting and driving through the roads of New Jersey, winding through in your Saab, often getting lost because we were deep in conversation and would miss the exit, or taking the train from Philly to New York and back. This was back in pre-cell phone and laptop days. So we had the luxury of just working on the study protocol or data collection forms or just talking to each other. We went through some really challenging times over the years, and it cemented our friendship. Nigel, you may not appreciate how your confidence in me is really what laid the foundation for my career, but it's true. Your dedicated and intentional mentorship taught me how valuable it can be. And as I've said, I've tried to relay that same thing to my trainees. My dream is that the lessons I learned from you and have passed on to my mentees will continue to be passed on in the years to come. So here's to the next phase of your life. In closing, I just want to celebrate this wonderful man and all his accomplishments. And I want to thank him for what he gave me and what he taught me. Nigel, I know your retirement will be a rich and full time in your life, and I wish you all the best.